Okay, Jim, quick look back at the weekend. How important was that win and what impact has it had on the squad?
Of course, it was a real positive result and a big performance from every player. There was obviously a lot riding on the game. Goes without saying when you're playing against one of your nearest rivals. And we're delighted with the overall performance. The clean sheet was important against a side that is used to scoring plenty of goals. And the only frustration from us was that we weren't able to score more because we had plenty of opportunities throughout.
Obviously, Raith have a game in hand. Is there a fear that maybe some of the United players will look a bit too far ahead?
No fear from this group. I mean, there was no over celebration after the game on Saturday. It was just another 3 points as far as we were concerned, and it's business as normal as of Monday morning. Boys have had a great week's training. We don't need to change a great deal from what we worked on prior to the Raith game. Just hoping for a similar level of performance.
Do you think there'll be a few more twists and turns this season?
Well, the good thing is, from our point of view, it's in our hands. We're in control of our situation. We can't afford any slip-ups between now and the end of the season. I do think there's always ups and downs because every game you go into is always competitive. Every team you play against is playing for something. There's lots of teams still fighting to get into the playoffs. The teams at the bottom end of the table are fighting for survival. So there are no easy games, but the players showed what they're capable of last Saturday. We haven't done that consistently enough probably in the last 8 or 9 weeks, but a real incentive there again on Saturday to go to the National Stadium, put on a good performance and hopefully take maximum points.
And do you look to your more experienced players in the team to get the squad over the line?
Well, we tried to do that in the summer in terms of the recruitment. We tried to get a good balance within the group in terms of senior players, guys that have been there and done it before. We've obviously introduced a lot of young academy graduates as well who have stepped up and made a real difference with lots of energy and no fear. And we looked at the whole group. I'm in a very fortunate position with the strength and depth that we've got within the squad, albeit we've got a couple of injuries to key players at the moment, but the boys are in a good place, had a great week's training. We'll take plenty of confidence from the result on Saturday and hopefully build on it again this weekend.
And Queen's Park then, you've got quite a good success rate against them. Is that something that brings the team confidence?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we've obviously had a couple of victories and we didn't cover ourselves in glory in the last time we played at Hampden, but as much as teams probably enjoy coming to play us at home at Tannadice in the big stadium on the good grass pitch, I think every team enjoys going to play Queen's Park at Hampden. So it's a good game to look forward to. It's a great venue. The pitch will be in good nick, and Queen's Park are obviously down the other end of the table, fighting for their lives. They're only a few points above Inverness in that playoff spot, so a lot riding on the game for them as well. But we've just got to focus on ourselves and bring that same level of commitment and effort that we showed against Raith Rovers, and if we do that, then we give ourselves a great chance.
Do you have to be wary of a team's motivation, like the position that Queen's Park are in? They're really fighting for their lives, as you say.
No, we don't focus on any opposition, to be honest with you. There wasn't a great deal of chat around about Raith Rovers last weekend. We don't spend a great deal of time talking about Queen's Park this week. We just try and obviously make the players aware of where we think the strengths of the opposition are, try and identify a few weaknesses in that and try and capitalise on it. But the focus is always on ourselves, and as I said, the guys really raised the bar last weekend. We can't come off for that now. We have to keep that standard there over the next 5 games, and the great thing is we're in control of our own situation, so if we do that, then the rest should take care of itself.
Any team news?
Not really. I mean, obviously Kevin Holt and Declan Gallagher are the 2 injuries that we have at the moment, but Ross Graham and Sam McClellan were both outstanding last Saturday, so we're hoping for a similar performance from those 2 guys on Saturday against Queen's Park.
Thanks.
How much of a headache has last week's performance caused you for the selection for this week?
Absolutely none. I mean, I don't like to change winning teams if I can avoid it. I haven't been able to pick a consistent 11 players for a number of weeks due to different circumstances with players, with injuries and what have you. But all the players up to now have came through training in good health, and if that remains the case tomorrow, then the same starting 11 that played against Raith will will take to the field against Queen's Park, and I don't mind letting Callum Davidson know that.
How do you think the players will handle going from last week's sort of environment that they played in to playing into, a very noisy, probably United support, but a very empty stadium next on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere will obviously be different. We'll bring a good travelling support through to Glasgow because we always do. And yeah, we have to try and, I suppose, generate that atmosphere for ourselves. Last Saturday's game was brilliant, but playing against Queen's Park, it's a different group, a different system. They play a different formation to Wraith Rovers. They play a different style. They try and build a little bit more from the back as opposed to Wraith, quite direct. So there are different things that we need to look at and be wary of. But as I said on the previous question, it's about focusing on our strengths and making sure that we bring that to the table on the weekend.
And as you said, it's basically win the next 5 games. There's no answer to it from there.
No, it's as easy as that.
This weekend will be one of the few times you and Wraith both play at the same time. What kind of impact do you think it'll have on the title race in the run-in, not playing the same time week to week? Yeah,
I mean, obviously, when one of us are playing on the Friday night, there can be different incentives and motivations to the one who's playing laterally. If like against ourselves against Dunfermline, where we drop points, and then Wraith have got that incentive to go and win, but it went in our favour that weekend. They didn't manage to get the 3 points, but it'll be good that both of us are playing at 3 o'clock on Saturday. No distractions for either team, just have to go and focus on the job in hand for ourselves. And yeah, I mean, look, there will be no doubt twists and turns and ups and downs along the way. We'll go into every single game between now and the end of the season, as we have done up to now, with a positive mindset and trying to win every game. But it's not always easy because you are facing some tough opposition. But we take it one game at a time, and our main focus right now is on Queen's Park.
Cheers. And just a quick one for myself, obviously you mentioned the injuries to Declan Gallagher and Kevin Holt, and obviously Sam McClellan stepped in that Wraith game for his first start for the club, and just how pleased are you with how he stepped in what one of the biggest games of the season, an important period of the season, that stepped in and obviously got the clean sheet there, and how he's kind of adapted and got straight to it?
Yeah, I'm delighted with Sam. I mean, no concerns in terms of throwing him in. He's got decent experience for a young player. Had a good grounding at Chelsea coming through the academy there. I watched a lot of him last season. He was out on loan at Barrow, played probably 30 senior games. Came up to St Johnstone, and he's already played 6 or 7 games in the Premier League for St Johnstone. Obviously the change of manager there then at a time when he had an injury meant that Craig Levine didn't know a great deal about him, and the opportunity came for us to strengthen and to bring him in on loan. He had to be patient, but his attitude in training is brilliant. He's always involved with the Northern Ireland under-21s. He's a key player for them as well, and so there was no concerns at all when the injury came around to Declan Gallagher. We knew we had 2 very good centre halves in Ross Graham and in Big Sam to go and step in, and I thought the 2 of them were outstanding. The guys at the top end, Multy and Tony, take the credit for putting the ball in the back of the net, but the 2 centre backs I thought were outstanding on the day, keeping the clean sheet against a very good attacking team. So we're hoping for similar this weekend.
So how's the squad feeling after the win last weekend?
Yeah, no, it's good. Been good this week. Training's been lively again, and obviously off the back of a good result. But focus is now on the weekend.
And is the squad starting to think about lifting the cup at the end of the season?
No, I think we're really just thinking about Saturday's game. I think that's the way it's been. You just go game to game. It was a good result at the weekend. If we can go and back that up, that's the next game.
And Queen's Park this weekend. So what are you expecting from them?
Yeah, they're a good football inside. Play well, play also a different shape and set up to what Wraith were, so they'll pose different challenges to us, and we'll go there with a game plan to turn them over and hopefully get 3 points again.
And do you think the team need to guard against complacency? With only a few games to go.
Yeah, there's 5 games left now. It's about game by game. Everyone says it, but you take this week preparing for that and being at our best come Saturday, and that just has to be the plan week by week going into the end of the season.
Thanks, Sam.
How did you enjoy making that debut last Saturday when you ran out in the park in front of the big crowd?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. So that, it was obviously packed out. It was a brilliant atmosphere about the place, and I think the performance, just the way everything went on the day, was brilliant. So it was.
And a good partnership you built up there with Ross Graham. Is that something you've been working with together in training?
Yeah, bits of training, certain times in training since I came, been in beside Ross, and he's a good player as well at the back, and I think we both done well, and it was a solid display defensively from us.
Moving to the weekend, it's Hampden Park, which is going to be a completely different atmosphere that you walk into, with basically the south stand just with some fans and things in it. Do you think that'll be a different type to play on Saturday for you?
Yeah, obviously it will be. It's a massive stadium, but it'll not be full compared to, there was over 10,000 there was buzzing at the weekend, but I think it's just about getting the performance on the pitch, starting the game well, getting a good foothold in the game, and letting everything else take care of itself.
And that win at the weekend must have given a real kind of confidence boost to the squad if at all it was needed. To beat your kind of title rivals in at home with 5 games to go, and kind of dispels any doubts that may have been there from anyone now.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. It was a good win and convincing win the way we done it, which is good, and as I say, should hopefully breed confidence to the squad that we can go and put a run together and just keep winning game by game in the way in.
And like you said, only 5 games to go. It's in your hands. Win all 5, as simple as that. You're the champions.
Yeah, no, that's it. As I say, we'll go to Saturday, hope for 3 points, and then go on to the next. But everything at the minute's just on the next game against Queen's Park.